Hi, how's it going? This is Z from the Quest. My book's out. Operation Z. It's on Amazon, so check it out. So anyway, this is part 2 of our Thanksgiving raids, update 12 and 2016. So here we go. We were at the second raid. It was far east of the first raid, and had 12 team members. They expected to raid a day before, but due to the delay on the first raid, they were on hold. 9 more. It was fast and furious. Here, Intel showed us 47 kids from ages 5 to 17. They had 8 guards and the woman who ran the brothel. This one was along a city street in an area where you only go if you're going to be involved in the underworld. It was rather public, but we made arrangements to make it to our advantage. The police were heavily involved in this business, so preparations were made to have them busy. Previous inquiries were so that they were not movable on their involvement. Sometimes we get them to change their corruption, but not here. Think about it. We could change their economy in this town to 3 times what they have now, yet they would rather have this business. Hopefully you can see what we face, and that's one of the things that we will do once we're really funded, is we can completely change an economy. The things that we, just by removing the brothel and replacing it with something else, but the problem is the culture there. So it's pretty heavily embedded that this is a good thing, and we're not into changing cultures, but as this goes, we are. So I don't know, take it as you will. This location was places that were in close quarters with other buildings, kind of like a shanty town on a street, and that causes a lot of trouble for us and takes us longer to plan. Yet it had been a while. We were watching this place, and we were in a stand down due to the lack of funds. The surrounding buildings were not a threat, for they were normal businesses that were kept quiet and would be left alone. They would just move out of the way when we came in. One of the buildings connected to it was a small shop with access to the alley behind, with just enough room to get a vehicle in and out. It also had a side entrance and of course the front wide open. So we choose this to be our exit, with only one problem. There was no entry to the brothel, just a solid wall. Yet solid walls in these buildings are not so solid to our advantage. The brothel also had 2 tunnels that lead out of the building and into other buildings across the street, both front and back. With all in place, we hit it full force. Tunnels were cut off and the teams were advancing through them into the actual brothel. There were a lot of kids and guards, so this would take longer than we would prefer. Sitting on pins and needles, waiting to hear what was going on, and the only connection I had was the guy outside waiting to move in when needed. I could hear him breathing hard, not saying anything either. Next radio went off, and inside team was calling the outside team to move into positions. The open 3 sides of the building were covered with our vehicles, and inside the shop, the worker was put in the corner, out of the way. We busted through the wall where the inside team was ready. Our female officers took charge of this part, moving the kids into the waiting trucks. It was a bit loud and crazy as these girls were in better condition and were freaking out. We had 3 female volunteers waiting in the trucks to calm them, and they were a lot less intimidating than the soldiers. Still waiting for 4 team members, we were getting a little nervous till we heard laughing as they came through the hole in the wall that they had just made. Nothing was said. There was business to complete, and it was in and out. The team was on the move to 3 different safe houses with escorts. They kept looking back, but there was not much activity, and with an extra long raid we had been faced with, This was a little crazy. Normally a raid, once it's started, takes about 4 minutes start to escape. This one took 7 minutes because of complications of the location. The most dangerous part was getting them on the roads away from the raid. Once they are in the open, they know if they're being followed and what they would do at that point. It took about 15 minutes till they were all clear, so this gave us time, and I gave the go on the next raid. After the teams had reached the safe houses, the report was all calm and only one of these kids needed additional medical attention. She was already in transport to one of our doctors. She was one of the little ones that was being resold as a virgin, so I'll leave out what the problem was, but it could be taken care of with the doctor. They, like the others, were washed and clothed. With the new clothes, they were made to understand what was happening. Soon they were on their way to where most would stay. They would be evaluated by social workers who are experts in the field and to see if any of them could be returned to where they came from. Oh, I guess you want to know what the team was laughing about. We always have to take care of the guards before we leave, so they are not getting help to stop us till it's too late. Also, it is important to find a way to neutralize them so more lethal actions are not required. One of the team is from Louisiana, and some had strange hobbies. He had in his possession some body bags from that state. No one asked how that came to be, but it was what it was. So bound and gagged and tied in such a way they could not move. They were placed inside these bags and of course with an opening to breathe. But one had the idea to empty some of the contents of buckets from some of the rooms inside. They don't have bathrooms in there, before they zipped them up. So I'm not going to tell you what was in them. You can figure that out for yourself. So you always want to leave a message behind for those who find them. The woman that ran the place, she was the meanest of all of them. So once the team was satisfied, they moved out. And we weren't done yet. Raid 3 was now underway. So check back to see that one, or hear it, whatever you want. Thanks.